Oh, hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Tynamite Show. I'm your host Tyler, joined by my producer, my counterpart, my co-host David Jerome. How you going, David?
Partner in crime.
I've just cracked a lime water.
Delicious. I have one here as well.
Oh,
We're not sponsored by Mount Franklin, but if Mount Franklin see this and would like to sponsor the Tynamite Show, we're welcome to negotiations.
Some people, you know, these podcasters, man, they're into unhealthy shit. You see, they're drinking beers, they're drinking rums. We crack cans of water. Healthy cans of water.
Natural flavour.
Natural, man. Natural. No sugar. Just healthy.
We're all natural on this show,
Dude, bro, we're all natural, bro.
Nothing fake about this.
Here for another episode of the Tynamite Show. The sick and sad Tynamite Show.
Yeah.
I've been really fucking sick all weekend.
In the wars, mate.
I've been through the wars. Today's the first day I've woken up alright. I was up super early this morning to record a podcast at 4:30 a.m. With Eddie and Sheps to talk about the finale of Falcon Winter Soldier. And today on the Tynamite Show, we're going to be talking about something similar to that. We're going to be talking about Captain America 4 being rumoured, announced, in the works as a film, with Sam Wilson being Captain America. We're going to theorise that. We're going to recap UFC 261, Masvidal, Usman 2, that crazy card. We've got some videos of our reactions that when we watched it the other day, we've got the card up here to sort of react to again and break down. It was a massive fight card for our UFC segment. And I've got a surprise segment that you don't know about, David, that's for you.
Here we go.
That I'm
like this.
really happy about.
All right. I
but
hope I'm happy about it.
yeah, I mean, it's something I'd never thought about doing it, but I mean, the thing about the Tynamite Show is it's a TV show as much as it's a podcast, and we can do what we want here.
Exactly.
So this is going to be something a bit different. We've never done anything like this before, but I'm excited about it.
I'm excited too.
Okay. But before we get into any of that, what's been happening with you, man? How are ya? You've been through the wars.
I'm good, yeah. Recovering really well. If you guys caught the stream last week, I took a massive spill on my longboard, which is a phrase I didn't think I'd be saying because I didn't know I'd be longboarding until I got one for my birthday the other week.
Is that what you do at 25 years old? You decide, let's change my whole personality? This is going to lead me to the light?
I figure if I have my life crisis now, I don't have one when I'm 40 or 45. So I'm just sort of buying all my dumb shit, making all my mistakes now at 25.
Quarter life crisis.
And then when I get to, must be a quarter life crisis, you know? So I've got, you know, I'll get it out of the way now. And then when I hit to 40, 50, you know, you just be smooth sailing. So, but yeah, took a bit of a tumble, but feeling pretty good. So doing all right now.
Yeah. It was on my stream. I was streaming the Ezio collection last week, and you're like, I'm just going to go for a skate in the middle, and I'm like, be safe. And I was like, my dad's senses are tingling hard that this is not good. 15 minutes later, Dave walks back in, shirtless, blood everywhere.
Yeah, I'll show the camera. We got stuff
fucked it up.
You got stuff there. It's more down on the leg, but a bit too gruesome for the old YouTube.
Converted you to the iPhone in the last week. That was exciting for me.
It's been a massive week for me, actually.
Yeah, it really has been a massive week
for me. Got the iPhone 12 now, loving it. Got this cool little magnetic case. Shout out to Apple.
Yeah, do you want to airdrop me a video right now? Let's do that on the show.
We're going to do one of my first few airdrops.
I just love this, that you can airdrop me things now. This is so exciting.
Airdrop.
Our whole friend group is so happy.
Tyler,
that you've done that.
Pointing it towards you.
Thank you so much.
Means? Yeah. Sending.
It's done.
Dude,
I've got it.
Amazing. So quick.
Dude, I want to see how crispy the video's so smooth.
It's pretty nice, huh?
Yeah. Wow, that is so smooth.
It's gorgeous, right?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Airdrops. It's a beautiful thing.
Amazing.
Welcome to the world of the iPhone. Happy for you to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, the nut button. Sorry, that's a new thing this week. The nut button.
Yeah. We introduced it on the stream.
Yeah, right. Right, we did introduce on one of my streams recently. If you haven't caught those, be sure to check him out on my channel. But yeah, we've got the nut button. What do we decide we're using the nut button for?
Basically things that are just nut-worthy. Yeah, so
But
Apple
is it for
products.
you or me? I mean, it's your button, really. It's
for both of us. Like, if you say something that's nut-worthy, I'll nut for you.
You'll nut for me.
Yeah, I'll nut on your behalf.
Okay.
And then we'll play it as it goes. Yeah, leave a comment if you do like the nut button.
If you like the nut.
If you like the nut segment, if you feel like it's being used effectively.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll try new things out. We'll try the nut button out this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what's weird that I've noticed this week? Because it's something that's come up on like the Four Pillars podcast and a few other things is YouTube recommendations. I feel like this wasn't as much of a thing a few years ago, but these days, like, YouTube just throws out old videos on your recommended out of nowhere. and it can really take you down rabbit holes. Things that on the Four Pillars podcast, James was bringing up. He's been watching bee videos, like bee farmers and shit like that, and it's so weird. I'm like, that's such a weird one. And one that I got on my recommended was, and ended up being like this big viral joke, and then I saw it on Twitter and it's everywhere. David, have you heard about the Josh fight?
Yes, yeah, I saw that on Reddit. I knew it was like something that happened a while ago, and it was scheduled, and then it actually happened, and then it happened in a field in the middle of this. I don't know where it happened exactly, but yeah, it actually happened.
So it all started a year ago. Some guy on Messenger added all these Joshes and just said, "You wonder why I've gathered you all here today." Some replies, "Because we've got the same name." And he says, "Yes, and only one can have the name Josh. Go to these coordinates on this date a year from now, and we'll all fight to decide who's the supreme Josh."
Yeah. Well, I think they did it effectively. When I saw that they were doing a fight, I was like, are they actually going to fist fight? And then I saw some clips, and it's them with like pool noodles and stuff like that. So it seems all very non-violent, but
Weird.
a good bit of fun. And then a whole crowd turned out, I think.
Dude,
the whole thing.
Massive event. There were hundreds and hundreds of people there, just with pool noodles fighting, and a 5-year-old won, who's the ultimate Josh. I think it was a 5-year-old got it at the end.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Yeah, it's just weird, man. YouTube recommended. Have you gone down those rabbit holes recently? Is there anything on your recommend that you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess YouTube recs. What have I been watching? Because I usually just watch, as much as I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stop looking at my phone before I go to bed. I just watch YouTube and then pass out. It's kind of a ritual.
Yeah.
For me personally, I guess recommended. No, I've been like actively like searching and looking at things. But I guess the recommended. Well, a while ago for me it was Twitch, like Twitch clips.
Yeah.
Twitch clips, just random streamers that I don't even watch Twitch. I know some Twitch streamers and stuff, but just those 30-second little out of context bits where you just watch those and you go, oh, that's really funny. Yeah, but I went down a bit of a rabbit hole looking at through different Twitch clips and then sort of led me into a whole bunch of different streamer drama and stuff that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it for me. Yeah, a while ago. It was definitely Twitch clips. Clips are kind of taken off, right?
Dude, clips are the answer.
Yeah.
Clips are the answer.
Tell us about that, Tyler.
The Four Pillars Clips channel, that's taking off. Like, it was just an idea a couple months ago that Ethan and James really were like pushing. They're like, oh, we should have a clips channel. And I was like, I guess. I wasn't sure about it, I'll be honest. I wasn't that fussed on it. I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to really be that involved in it. But I've sort of got amongst in the last month or so, really trying to post a few more clips here and there from streams. And, man, the clip channel's blowing up. Blowing up, just random clips. And the activity on that channel is incredible. Not just with, the subscribers that are there always watching it, but it seems like the algorithm's picking up these clips. And people that don't even know us are finding us through a clips channel. So we have this podcast network, the Four Pillars Network, those long form pieces of content that people really want to sit there and consume and really listen to us for hours and hours. We have our separate YouTube channels for those, mid-range videos, the 10 to 15 minutes. And now we have this Four Pillars Clips channel that, people can dive into for just those 1 minute, 30-second little bite-sized pieces of the Four Pillars, and we're putting up clips almost every single day on that channel from either James, Ethan, myself, or George. So there's always content going up somewhere in the Four Pillars community, and it's just a way now that there's ways people can consume content in all forms, and it's awesome. It's really awesome to see, but that clip channel's going crazy. I think I put up a 30-second clip the other day from one of AC2 streams, 20,000+ views on it.
Amazing.
And just from a channel that has 3,000 subscribers. Ethan had a video that he posted a couple of weeks ago, and it got like 1,000 or something views within that first week. And in the last 2 days, weeks after it had been uploaded, it's got over 100,000 views within the span of a day or two.
Yeah.
The algorithm hits those clips and it blows them up. So I feel like that channel is going to be a huge source of not just like future income for us, but it's more audience integration into discovering us through clips. It's incredible.
You're going to be one of those channels that someone, even if it's a year from now, 2 years from now, sees a Four Pillars Twitch clip in their recommended. They click on it and they go, oh, that's hilarious. And then they'll go to the channel and be like, oh my gosh, these guys have like 500 videos to just like binge watch. And then that's how you get involved in communities these days. Is you see a little clip, you love it, and then you go, where have these guys been? This whole time, and you realize that they have a whole history of videos that they've made that you just haven't been a part of, but suddenly the wonderful algorithm and recommended unite you with something that you didn't even know you needed.
That's right. It's awesome. I'm excited to see where this channel goes. I'm more and more on board the more I've seen it. Like, actually, whereas the podcast network is something I always wanted for a long time, whereas the clips channel I never thought about, I never considered, and now that I'm seeing it in action, I can see its value. So it's really cool. So I'm excited to see where that all goes. But yeah, anyway, I feel like it's about time to get into these major segments of the show, David. So yeah, I mean, let's get chatting. We've got a lot to cover. Again, Captain America 4. It's gonna happen. That's exciting. I've got a surprise segment for you, and I really want to get into that. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the segments.
Tyler, we forgot to mention the undisputed members of your Patreon.
That's right, the producers that make this show happen. Got to thank them before we get any further into the show. Please, yes. David, who have we got to thank?
We have Every Dobbs, Clark53, Damien, does the name William Miles ring a bell? Donald, don't. Ferentino, Flash Paradox, Franco, Jesper Olsen, King Richard III, Real Kermit Cinema, Robbie, Ryan Hafer, Tristan Weaver, Viridian, and Ballsack47.
Shout out to those amazing Patreon producers for making the show happen. Wouldn't be here without you, quite literally wouldn't be here without you.
Here we go.
So some big news, David, in the last week from Marvel, that Captain America 4, the film, is in development from Marvel Studios, which is insanely exciting. If you didn't know, I'm a big Captain America fan. Sort of love the guy. My favorite.
Does a single person in this who watches this not know that you're a massive Captain America fan?
I guess I don't think there is. Everyone knows that.
For any new listeners watching,
yeah, I'm a huge Captain America fan, and to hear this news is so exciting, and it came out the day the final episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier premiered or was released on Disney Plus, and the show, first of all, an incredible show overall, such a great piece of entertainment. Those 6 episodes were so good. I had some issues, and you can check out again on where this full show is on the 4 Pillars Network. I did on the latest streamcast I was a part of, which is covering the final episode of this. I had some issues with the final episode for sure. But what I loved about it, and what I loved about the show overall, was the culmination of Sam Wilson, the Falcon, becoming our new Captain America. Amazing. So happy with that. More happy now that I've seen it than I even was at the cinemas 2 years ago now when Avengers Endgame released, and seeing Steve Rogers hand off the shield to Sam. Like, I was over the moon when that happened. I was like, this is perfect. The perfect character handed off to the most like Steve. This is, of course, where it had to go. But, in my head, I thought, I was going to see the end of Captain America with Endgame, and that would sort of be it. So to have that hope at the end and realize, wait a second, oh my God, we're really going to see the story of the Shield, the legacy continue. And then the announcement of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's like, oh, awesome. Fucking my boys are, still doing the damn thing. But then to use that show not just to be for Captain America sidekicks to have their own show, but for it to be the development of the future of the Captain America saga, the legacy of the shield of Captain America and the mantle of Captain America, that, was the story of Cap's best friend in Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, getting his redemption, and assisting Sam Wilson in his development of accepting the mantle of Captain America, both in wanting it and also demonstrating why he was chosen for it. And that was quite an incredible journey, and it was a lot deeper than I expected. I didn't consider the racial elements to it. I didn't consider the political elements to it. I really just thought it would be sort of him proving to himself that he could be that. But I hadn't, it was naive of me to not consider all those other political elements to it. And I thought they handled it really well, because sometimes it can be a bit treacherous when these, entertainment conglomerates tackle those really modern political issues and issues of race. But I thought they handled it with such class and integrity, and I love the direction they took and the payoff to it. And I just thoroughly enjoyed that storyline in the show. And what I'd hoped leading into the show, when I knew what it would probably be about, which was Sam Wilson becoming Captain America, was they're not just going to tail Sam's character off into Disney Plus shows forever. They're going to do a Captain America 4 movie, because you can't just set up these characters for the future of the MCU for no reason, right? Like, what are you going to do? A second season with them? Is that how you're continuing their story? Or will they be in films? Like, when they do another team-up film, another Avengers, perhaps. Obviously, Sam and Bucky are going to be a part of those. What roles will they play? Where will they be? So I thought it was only natural. It made sense. Will a Captain America 4 happen? Is what I hoped. I did not expect them to announce it the day the final episode premiered. And not that it was officially announced. It's more of just like leaked rumors just to let us know, hey, everyone's telling us this is what's in the works. And it's reported that the writers of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show are the writers of the film. So there's no word on obviously who would direct the film. I would love for the Russo brothers to come back. They're the directors of Captain America 2 and 3, and of course Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Like, they're some of the best directors in the world, and to me those are the 4 probably best MCU films that are out there, and they directed all 4 of them. So especially Captain America the Winter Soldier, you know, as a Captain America solo film, the way they nailed that Cap universe and Steve as a character and Sam as a character, like, that's to have the Russo brothers back to do that would be incredible. I don't expect that to happen. I think they've done what they want to do with Marvel, and it's time to sort of move on for them. But I mean, I would welcome them back with open arms. But there was rumors, David, that Chris Evans was in talks with Marvel a few months ago to come back, but they weren't sure how that was or what that would be, especially with, you know, the end of Endgame. Steve Rogers, he's an old man. He went back in time, he lived a life, and he passed on the shield to Sam. So why would Chris Evans come back? Is it... Yeah, I mean, we know time travel's involved. Does he pop up to save the day at the end of a movie? Does he...
I'd want to see it as like an unassuming cameo. Like, you gotta have the book closed at some point. That's what makes things timeless, is that they have to have an end. You can't just keep bringing things back time and time again because it sells, because it makes money. If you know, the reason why things are iconic is because, you know, they have an end. Things become permanent to us because they disappear. Yeah. So I reckon that if they bring Cap back, like, sprinkle in like a little cameo or something, or like, you know, but I wouldn't like to see him back in a big way, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's say you have, you know, 5-6 years from now, that big team up movie moment, and at the end Cap comes in and saves the day through a time warp. Like, would I lose my mind in the cinemas and think it's the greatest thing ever? Absolutely, I would, of course. But should it happen? No. You know, you need to focus on these new heroes and have them be the saviors. Would I like to see Chris Evans come back? Absolutely. But how would I want it? I would want to... I think Chris Evans has to be in Captain America 4. And what I mean by that is, he is Captain America. And now Sam Wilson is Captain America. But the legacy of those films, of the trilogy that came before, is Steve Rogers' trilogy. I'd love to see a new trilogy now of the Sam Wilson Captain America trilogy and see where that goes. But I don't see why you wouldn't. The same way, let's say in Captain America the Winter Soldier, you have Peggy Carter, this old woman, the love of Steve's life. He visits her and he goes to her for advice. What if you had that same sort of thing when Sam's at his lowest point? He goes and sees old Cap. He goes and sees old Steve. So that's how Chris comes back as an old man again. Because we haven't seen him die yet. We don't know it. Like, everyone just assumes in the universe he dies. Only Sam and Bucky and Banner know that Steve's an old man and went back in time and stayed there. So and I assume probably the other Avengers do as well, or at least some of them. But I would think that he's somewhere and he's still alive until we hear otherwise. So I think maybe that needs to happen at some point. And you wouldn't have him... Chris Evans isn't going to be in a Disney Plus show. They can't afford him. So of course he wasn't in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I feel like in a Captain America movie, I feel like he's got to be in it somehow, because he's a huge part of that story still. So I think he will come in there just as that sort of advice giver, as the wisdom to Sam, as those connections, because they can share that mantle they've both held. You know, Steve was the traditional Captain America mantle of what America was, and that's what he stood for, and he was a symbol, but he also developed into this unique superhero that was for all people, and all races, and aliens and humans, everything. He fought for individuals, he fought for what he thought was right. And Sam's the modern take on that, and it is a modern representation of that. So I just think Chris Evans as Captain America needs to be in the movie in some way. He's obviously going to be mentioned the same way as was in Falcon Winter Soldier, but I think as an old man, it makes the most sense. I
agree. I think even just the way you just described, as someone, as a mentor who gives advice, but who gave up the shield and has a new, you know, like, I don't want to see him come back and fight. I don't want to see him come back and save the day.
Yep.
I want him to be the person, he sits down, you know, at a bar or at a cafe, and Sam is at this crossroads, and then the brilliant fucking script writers that are the Russo brothers will write something beautiful and poignant that Cap can give to him, and then he goes off and he walks hand in hand with his wife somewhere. You know, like that's what Cap now represents. You know.
Yeah, unfortunately, his wife's dead.
But, well, I mean, like what I mean is like.
I know what you're saying, though.
You know, down the line.
I know what you're saying.
Unless he goes back in time travel or whatever, who knows with this?
Yeah, you don't know. I doubt they'll do any time travel in a Captain America 4, but I mean, you know, Steve's probably still alive. But no, it's not the Russo brothers writing it. It's the guys that wrote Falcon Winter Soldier. But I'd love the Russo brothers to come back and direct.
Yeah.
But who knows? That's more speculation than anything else. But yeah, dude, 100% you're right.
The mental figure that you suggested would be a beautiful way to just wrap up him as a as a character.
Because he did the pass along in the Shield, and that's all well and good, but I feel like there's going to be times where Sam needs that. Like, Sam's someone that can find the answers himself, which I love, but there's going to be a time where the only person he would want to turn to would be a Steve Rogers. And I think to have that one moment, that one final moment, like, I don't think it should be a constant thing. I think it should be no more than a scene. And I think Steve should find Sam when Sam needs it, not Sam finding Steve. I think would be a good way to do it.
Because he's quite old, isn't he?
Super old. Well, he's
old.
He's 100 and something.
Yeah, so he wouldn't be doing
But the reason he's still fit as a fiddle is because of the super serum.
Yeah.
So it's probably like Bilbo with the One Ring. Like, he's 111, but he looks fucking 60. You know what I mean?
Dude, what if there's a moment where he sacrifices himself?
Nah, I feel like Sam's got to be the hero. You can't have Steve be the hero anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's Sam's time. So I think Steve can be there for the advice, but Steve can't be the one to save the day. This is Sam's story
not
now.
save the day, but what if there's a moment where, you know, there's one option, you know, there's one option that, you know, that, like, Sam has to make a choice. Like, he can't physically save two things at once. And it's Steve who just has to let go, or Steve has to do something and let himself go. Instead of what Steve Rogers going to do, die of old age?
No, yeah, I feel like Steve should die of old age, because that's the thing. He already died once from a sacrifice.
Yeah. And
I feel like a big part of his character development was letting go of the hero mantle and being able to live a normal life. So I feel like his perfect... And that was what was so perfect about Iron Man's ending, was that, you know... Steve's the one you expected to make the sacrifice, and Iron Man's the one you expect to die of old age because he's selfish.
Yeah.
And then they both had the opposite development where they both learnt to see each other's lives. That's like the perfect character arc to the Infinity Saga was the duality of Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. They were the two main characters of the Infinity Saga. And the duality of their character developments from being the ultimate hero to the ultimate, you know, selfish person, to sort of like... You know, in Avengers 1, they didn't like each other. And they said to each other, you know, like, they wanted to have a fucking fist fight. And he's, you know, Steve thought that all Tony is money. Like, that's all he is. He's, you know, congratulations, you're rich. And to Tony, it was the line he used. He's like, the only thing special about you came out of a bottle. Yeah. And I was like, well, if that was the case, how can he lift Mjolnir? It's because he's worthy. No one else is worthy but Cap. And it's not because he's a great soldier or strong guy, it's because he's a good man. And that's who he was. And that's, you know, they were both wrong about each other, and they both saw the other side of each other, and they became amazing comrades and friends. And in the end, it's Tony that sacrificed himself, and it was Steve that was able to live the simple life.
You're right. I don't think he's going to sacrifice himself, but my prediction now is Steve Rogers is going to pass away in the next film.
I think he should. Yeah. I mean, you've got to wrap up the story.
Sam's going to go to him for advice. This is just my prediction. But Sam's going to go to him for advice. He's going to get some advice. And then he's going to go back to try and talk to Steve later in the movie, and it's just going to be an empty hospital bed and a letter, and he's going to have written him a letter of some kind.
Yeah, that would be nice. Like, something like that would be simple, like, because you got to wrap him up. You can't have him just sitting in the universe still somewhere.
Yeah, he's got to go, I think.
The same way, like, in Civil War, Peggy Carter died. Like, you don't see her, but you have old Peggy Carter in The Winter Soldier, and he talks to her, and that's one of my favourite scenes of the film.
Yeah.
And that, you know, really draws Steve in and changes his perspective on things. And then in Civil War, you know, she dies and it's her funeral. But I feel like you could have a similar thing with Sam, and his Peggy is Steve. You know, his mentor is his best friend. But then also you're going to get to continue to see the characters that were introduced in Falcon Winter Soldier, like US Agent, and hopefully the return of, like, Sharon Carter, Zemo, all those great Captain America universe characters. And of course you're going to see, you know, Bucky at the forefront with Sam. Those two are a team. So any Captain America movie, you know, we're going to see, obviously, Bucky alongside Sam, and those to continue those two and their stories is going to be incredible. So I can't wait for Captain America 4 in a few years' time, and hopefully it's not just one film, but it could be a Captain America trilogy of this next generation, Sam's own trilogy. So I'm so excited for that. Obviously, I cannot wait to hear more, and I'll certainly be talking about it for months and years to come until that film is released. Okay, so I've got a bit of a surprise segment for David.
Oh, doing that one now?
Yeah, I've decided we're going to do it now. Something we've never done on the show before, but I thought, fuck it, let's do it. Hey, David.
Yes,
what are you doing tonight?
I'm going on a date.
You're going on a date.
I am going on a
Now,
date.
this is the second date with this girl.
Second, man. Second's always exciting.
You're right. And you had a great time on your first date.
Yeah, wonderful time. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing I'm going to do is that, look, I'm not, who knows if it's going to work out. Hopefully it does. You don't know. But while David's, in the moment of, oh, yeah, he had a great first date, he's about to go on a second date, I thought I'm going to take advantage of something here.
Oh, God.
Now, tell me a bit about this first date and her interests. What sort of things were you telling me about that she liked?
Oh, okay. So we went for some drinks in the city, which was great. We just chatted a lot about travel.
Yeah.
We chatted a bit about like personal interests and things like that.
Yeah.
She mentioned that she's a big fan of Kingdom Hearts.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Now, David, Kingdom Hearts is my favorite video game franchise of all time.
It is your favorite.
So when you told me that, I was like, wow, that's cool. And you said to me the other day, you go, this is the first time I'd ever consider playing Kingdom Hearts now. Like, it actually made me consider it.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do right now, David, is get you to play the opening of Kingdom Hearts.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
What I'm going to do right now is, first, before anything else, I'm going to explain to you what Kingdom Hearts is. Mm-hmm. We're going to watch the trailer for the first game.
I did see the trailer up in the tabs. I was like, I wonder what's going on
and then we're going to play the opening of the game.
Here we go. Hopefully they don't suck. I haven't played PS in ages.
So this is my idea. So I thought I'm going to take advantage of you accepting your fate.
Yeah. Which you'll be playing this game if the second day.
And then you can tell her tonight that you played the opening to Kingdom Hearts. Today, yeah. So this is exciting. This is exciting.
Good.
And I can title this video "Introducing My Best Friend to Kingdom Hearts."
Perfect.
I feel like that's a great video.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I watched you play a bit yesterday, and it does look really, really great. I saw you do some boss fights, and I was like, I love boss fight games. I love learning mechanics. I love that kind of stuff. And Tyler was like, well, basically, it's a boss fight game, so I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm very, very much interested.
Yeah, it's a Japanese RPG boss fight game.
Yeah.
With an incredibly beautiful story with Disney characters involved.
Fantastic.
So I'll give you the rundown.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you the cliff notes, and then I'll go into a bit more detail. Mm-hmm. Kingdom Hearts is about a young boy named Sora, who's a Keyblade wielder. At the age of 12, 13, becomes a Keyblade master. Well, not a Keyblade master, but the master of the Keyblade. This magical, weapon that chooses its master, and it chose Sora.
Cool.
A boy of pure heart. Mm-hmm. We don't know why at the start. Obviously, we don't know why it chose him, but throughout the 10 games and movies, you find all these things out and more. It develops into a very intricate, detailed story about light and dark, love and loss, and a lot of different personal journeys, with many, many characters and intricate storylines with those characters. But the basic note is, you play as a kid who wields a Keyblade, fights shadows, and your best friend is Donald and Goofy.
Fantastic.
So they're your companions throughout your journey, and you travel to different Disney worlds, trying to defeat dark shadows. That's like the cliff notes of the first game. But you lose. So these things are called the Heartless, and they consume worlds. Mm-hmm. They steal hearts and consume worlds, and when you lose your heart, you become a Heartless, and they consume different worlds into shadows.
Cool.
So each world is a different Disney movie, but there's also Kingdom Hearts original world. So Sora's from this place called Destiny Islands. So that's just original world. It's a Kingdom Hearts world.
Great.
And his world gets swallowed into darkness, and he goes on a journey searching for his friends. Meanwhile, Donald and Goofy are searching for the King Mickey, who's gone on a journey. So he tells them they need to find the Keyblade. And because Sora has the Keyblade, they link up, and they're like have mutual interest to find the king, and he wants to find his best friend. So they go on a journey throughout Disney Worlds to find clues and find their friends. And that's the story of the first game. And then it opens up, you realize there's so much more to this world, so much more to this universe, so many stories involved, but still, one thing that's consistent in each game is the link to, you go through all these Disney Worlds. So there's like this beautiful fun and joy to it all.
Yeah.
But also, you have this incredible, like, detailed storyline that continues on throughout the narrative, and so many memorable characters. So, do you want to pull up the trailer?
Absolutely, man. Is this the first one?
Yeah. Just that.
PS2?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just, I thought, let's just play the PS2 trailer.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, you're only going to get 480. Yeah, just hit play on that.
720. Oh, man, this looks
Is there sound to that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there's sound there. Cool, we should be good. Are we getting an ad right now?
Nope.
Oh, no, we're good. Do you want to read that? Thinking of you, wherever you are. You pray for our sorrows to end and hope that our hearts will blend. I can't read that. Now I'll step forward and realize this wish. Dude, this music is incredible, by the
It's
way.
half the reason I'm really excited to play this game, because Disney...
And who knows,
music, man.
starting a new journey may not be so hard, or maybe it has already begun.
Love that.
The Kingdom Hearts music, man. Like, you feel nostalgia without even having to have played it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are many worlds, but they share the same sky, one destiny. There's so much heart to this, bro. There's so much heart to this series. It is the greatest game franchise of all time. And it's not just nostalgia. I got James and the whole community into it only a few years ago, and now it's all their favorite franchises.
True.
There's Sora. There's a boy. So it's the same company that makes Final Fantasy. So there are Final Fantasy characters that appear in this, like Cloud, Sephiroth, Leon, Yuffie, Aerith,
True.
Sid.
Interesting.
Riku, Kairi.
Aurora.
Yeah. So that's a Heartless,
Yep.
you're saying? So Sora's like... So that's when his world's getting swallowed by
hectic.
darkness. And there's, it's a boss fight game as well. So every world, you're always fighting lots of bosses, and the further you get in, obviously, the harder it gets. There's lots of difficulty settings. So now you're sort of seeing a bit of the Disney side of things. Donald, Goofy. The three best friends, man. There's the three best friends. Like, their friendship is so beautiful. There's so much magic to it, man. As if this music doesn't make you want to cry. There's Cloud. Oh, dude.
Cloud's such a boss, dude.
He's such a boss. Winnie the Pooh, bro. Oh, you were asking me about Tarzan?
Tarzan. He's so sick.
Yeah. Little Mermaid. How unreal is this, hey? I remember showing Jared this. He didn't even know what this was. He didn't know this existed. And showing him this, he was blown away. He's like, "This what the fuck is this?"
I really should play this.
Yeah, well, you're about to. You're
Yeah.
literally about to play this. Just so you're aware of that. You're about to play this.
Peter Pan, was that? Aladdin?
Yeah. Aladdin, yep. I want to talk about boss fights. Like, you're fighting. These are the bosses you're fighting, man. Like, these Disney villains.
Bambi.
Yeah. Neverland. Yeah. Like. Yeah, bro. It's unbelievable. It truly is.
Keyblade.
I'm about to change your life. I just hope you realize that we're documenting your life changing forever.
Hectic.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah, okay. Close it up. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
I'm very, very excited to play the game. I think a massive part of it... I mean, I love Disney, don't get me wrong. But for me, I think my biggest hesitation was like, Donald and Goofy and running around with Aladdin. It seemed not childish. It just seemed like, I guess, slightly trivial. I don't know. But I was like, how can you connect to this world, in like as an adult?
Yeah.
And I think music is the key. I think obviously the characters and the story and the combat's going to be a lot of fun, but music is ageless.
It's
you know what I mean?
everything, man.
Yeah.
The thing is, Kingdom Hearts nails everything, so that's what connects it. It's got the music, it's got the story, it's got the characters, it's got the worlds, it's got the magic, it's got everything. Like, you can feel nostalgia without having any nostalgic connection.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do right now is play the opening.
Alrighty.
The opening. So let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
So,
All right.
how do you feel right now?
Excited, yeah. Fuck. Give me that.
Yeah, hang on, I'll just set you up.
Yeah.
Hang on, you've got to also experience just dearly beloved, man. This is an important part of the Kingdom Hearts experience. Because I told you yesterday, this is the tune that is on every Kingdom Hearts game, but they redo it every time.
Here we go. Shit's about to go down. This is classic Japanese.
Yeah, dude.
Love it. It's like an opening to an anime.
And this woman that sings this song sings all the mainline songs. She retired,
Really?
but came back just for Kingdom Hearts 3 to do the song for it.
Amazing. Do you reckon there'll be a number 4?
Yeah, they're 100% they're working on it. It's so dramatic.
So good. It's classic.
And you're an anime fan.
Yeah, I'm surprised that like you love this kind of stuff. I reckon there's a few series you could really get into because this is a classic like opening like song to like an anime. It's like super dramatic, like
I don't
really
know what
cool
it is that
band.
stops me from liking animes because I just can't do it. It literally bothers.
First time. Here we go. Have to fight something, right? Oh, dude, crispy.
Yeah,
Crispy gameplay.
so much to do.
This is so early 2000s. I love it.
Take your time. Don't be afraid. The door is still shut. Now step forward. Can you do it? Just gotta walk forward. I feel like I really need to be clear commentating what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because there will be audio versions of this show. Just for that alone.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So I'll try my best to also like really audio commentate what's going on. But I will cut this
For sure.
quite a bit. I'm not just gonna have a sit here playing
Oh
the whole
shit,
game.
a sword. Nice.
So you're gonna choose. So circles jump.
Okay. What is X then?
X is attack.
Oh, cool. Sperm.
So what's your choice?
Sword. Sure.
Do you need to jump up there?
Okay.
Power of the warrior. Invincible courage. A sword of terrible destruction.
Complete with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Is this the power you
100%.
seek? Your path is set. I'll be the narrator.
Does it change like
Now what
the
will
outcome
you?
at
Yeah.
all?
No, now what will you give up in exchange? It's your stats. So what are you giving up? Defense or magic?
Oh.
Dude. They're tough choices.
Do you have a recommendation?
Um.
Look, I love the old sword and shield.
Yeah. Then I'd give up magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna need magic, but I find at Kingdom Hearts 1, you probably only really need your heal magic more than anything, so you're fine. Whereas in the later games, it's easier to use magic, I find. You've chosen the power of the warrior. You've given up the power of the mystic.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the form you choose?
Yes, it is. Yeah, most games I play, I like to go sword and board. Just like sword and shield, straight up.
Yeah, that's the same. In my older age, I've gone a bit more magic.
I feel like, yeah, if I was more experienced at the game, I probably would go magic. But
Yeah.
I want to get the...
It used to affect what level you got certain abilities, depending
True.
on what you picked. Like, I remember I would always pick magic because you would get scan at level 9 in the original, but now it doesn't matter.
True. Is there like talents and abilities and stuff?
Oh, so yeah, there's lots of abilities you'll gain. Like the game at the end of the game compared to more in the later games, but
Ching.
compared to the start, like the flow of it, your jump, your different abilities you have, it plays so different. So X is your attack.
Cool.
All right, you've got it. Use this power to protect yourself and others.
Cool.
Imagine.
Blue equals magic.
There will be times you have to fight.
Crazy. Can you lock on?
Yep.
Cool.
Keep your light burning strong.
Okay.
So R1, I believe, is lock on.
Oh my gosh.
You just killed your first Heartless. Congratulations.
Oh, gotta get used to the combat.
How you feeling?
Stressed.
Really?
I'm on video.
Yeah, it's true.
I've never streamed playing games before. Does
Yeah.
it increases You know, unless you get used to it after a while. But,
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah, you definitely
If
get
I
used
fuck up, I get roasted.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's pretty easy at this point. You played enough games, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah. I'll get the hang of it.
With playing the tutorial to a 20-year-old game.
True. Ooh. So nice. The color palette's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
This is a field icon. It pops up wherever a special.
So that's the triangle. So.
Okay, cool.
So your bottom left is sort of your like.
Pops up. Cool.
So triangle sort of your like interaction button.
Oh wow. Push.
Yeah, so sort of.
So you hold down. You hold down.
Yeah.
Hang on. Push.
So you need to be sort of towards the center. Maybe try the other side. Oh yeah, there you go.
I think you just got to run into it a little bit. Also smash them.
Drops an item. Look at that.
Cool.
Pick it up. Potion.
Items with the
So
items command.
down the bottom left is your like command deck. So that's when you use the D-pad to scroll down it. The shortcuts holding L1 will, as you go on, if you hold L1, it'll give you the shortcuts for your X, square, triangle, circle.
So you can press L1 hit and then.
So L1 and then your command deck will pop up with your shortcuts you've created, which could be for magic and items. So those are your quick shortcuts, the things you use a lot. But your command deck, you have attack and hit the D-pad. Hit down on the D-pad.
Yeah.
And then sort of go down. So that'll be your items. Magic will be above that, and your abilities will be down the bottom when you unlock all those. But then you want to sit on attack just generally as a general rule. So when you hit X, you're always just going to attack. But when you drop down and hit X, it'll then be magic. Hit down again, items.
So that's how you swap targets.
Yeah.
Etc. Interesting. Okay, so when you're locked on, you can't move the camera.
No.
Ah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But it keeps you focused on it. That's where you lock on. Because
Yeah.
the auto lock on will be wherever you're close to and it'll direct you that way.
Yeah, interesting.
But if you lock on, so you want to go over to that item, you want to pick it up.
Yep. So you go
Lift, and then you want to throw it. So hit X to throw it.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
I just let go of triangle.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So now the door's unlocked. It's
Sweet,
ready
alright.
to be opened.
Here we go. Through the door.
Hold on. The door won't open just yet.
Shit.
First, tell me more about yourself. So let's just give me a D-pad stuff. So walk over to each character.
So you can go into first person view? Is that what he said? Interesting.
What's most important to you? Being number one. Friendship. My prized possessions.
100% friendship.
Okay. Is friendship such a big deal?
Interesting.
So we go talk to our mate with the beach ball.
He looks familiar.
What do you want out of life?
See rare sights. Broaden my horizons to be strong. Rare sights. Cool.
And then there's one other guy.
So what are you afraid of? Getting old, being different, being indecisive.
Being indecisive, huh? You want friendship. You want to see rare sights. You're afraid of being indecisive. Your adventure begins at midday. Keep a steady pace and you'll come through fine. Sound good?
Sounds good.
The day you will open the door is both far off and very near.
Crazy.
Here we go.
Shit, man. Oh man, this is hectic. Oh shit.
Fighting some Heartless.
Damn, these guys are everywhere. Let's back up a bit.
What are you feeling from the vibe of this so far?
Oh man, it's tough. That's cool.
Yeah, so the thing with these...
Can you dodge at all?
You can, but you get that ability later. You dodge
okay.
roll later. Yeah, the game really opens up the more abilities you
Oh
get.
wait, do you get health or something as you kill things?
Yeah, the green orbs they drop is health.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I'm getting hit.
Oh, a save point. So you go up to that, and then press triangle.
And items drop?
That's all just health. You've got full health, but a save point will full heal you once you
true.
enter one.
Great. Here we go.
So hit triangle to save.
Save.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just hit triangle.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. What the fuck's it doing? Oh yeah. So it's creating a staircase.
Shit.
What do you think of the music here? Pretty cool there.
Yeah, I love it. The design's really cool too. I like it.
Doesn't feel 20 years old, hey?
Nah, it's very unique design. I haven't played a game with this kind of design.
Yeah. Have you played a JRPG before?
I've actually never played Final Fantasy. Never played never played a JRPG.
Closer you get to light, the greater your shadow.
Closest one I played was Monster Hunter, but I didn't play it very much.
Yeah.
Shadow me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's huge.
But don't be afraid.
I have to fight this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So he only has 2 vulnerable points, his hand and his head. So I'd lock onto his hand.
Okay.
You can sort of climb up his hand to get to his head. Because his head, you do more damage hitting his head. So you want to hit his hand. But also summon different things.
So you automatically jump when you're near things.
Yeah, if you're locked on it, yeah. So you might want to unlock on if you want to take down now that he's sort of shooting out shadow powers from his chest.
I don't think I'm getting hit, am I?
Oh my god, nothing's even coming at you. Usually they're like, he's shooting out things and they come around and they like heat seek you. Like heat seeking fucking missiles.
He's got like a big heart.
Oh, he's coming down with the hammer. Yeah, he's just summoning some shadows. Try to climb up his arm.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, no, then you get to his head, it does way more damage.
True.
So he's only going to be down there for so long, so you need to do it now. So you need to jump up and then you can sort of walk
I
up.
probably need to unlock from them then.
Yeah,
run up.
definitely.
Might just kill these guys on the ground.
He's going to keep summoning them.
Yeah, just kind of clear the way a bit.
Just go for his hand when you can't go for his head, but when
Yeah.
you get the chance, when he punches down, then climb up his arm and just hit him in the head because it does way more damage.
True. Next time he kind of gets to the ground.
Oh, you got him.
Nice,
Nice and easy. Nice and easy for your first one.
That's good though. What you said, it's like you got to look for the strategy.
Yeah.
Because not all bosses can just be hit. You got to look for their weakness.
Yeah. And this is obviously the easiest one possible. It's a tutorial boss.
For sure.
But don't be afraid. You hold the mightiest weapon of all.
Keyblade?
So don't forget. You are the one who will open the door.
Interesting.
Whoa! Give me a break, Kyrie.
Sorry, you lazy bum. I knew that I'd find you snoozing down here.
No, this huge black thing swallowed me up. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't... Ow.
Are you still dreaming?
It wasn't a dream. Or was it? I don't know. What was that place? So bizarre.
Yeah, sure.
Say, Kyrie, what was your hometown like? You know, where you grew up?
I've told you before. I don't remember.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
You ever want to go back?
Well, I'm happy here.
Really?
But you know, I wouldn't mind going to see it.
I'd like to see it too. Along with any other worlds out there. I want to see them all.
So what are we waiting for?
Hey! Aren't you guys forgetting about me? So, I guess I'm the only one working on the raft. And you're just as lazy as he is.
So you noticed. Okay, we'll finish it together. I'll race you.
Huh? What? Are you kidding?
Ready? Go!
Kingdom Hearts.
Here we go. Ready to go. So this is Destiny Island, right?
Yeah, the Destiny Islands is the name of the world you're at. Oh. So there we go. You've just finished the tutorial and now you're in the game.
There we go. My introduction to Kingdom Hearts.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. I love the color. Color palette's nice.
Yeah.
The characters are already, instantly lovable.
Yeah.
So it is 20 years old in the fact that it's like takes its time.
Yeah.
But that's any game back then. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It definitely takes its time.
For sure.
Good work, my friend.
There we go, man.
I'm happy.
Done.
I'm proud of you.
Exciting.
All right, Dave, for the last segment of today's Tynamite show, I want to talk about the UFC.
Crazy.
UFC 261 this past weekend was absolutely fucking insane.
One of the best live events I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was unreal. It was unreal. I was sick as a dog that day, but I really, it got me up. It got me up having fights on the... let's talk about first the crowd. Having the crowd back, how much that changed the vibe of the whole show.
Yeah.
Of watching that live event. How important is the crowd? How much do you miss? Do you realize you miss the crowd a lot?
Yeah, you don't realize how much it's necessary until you hear them again. And the quality of the fighting, I don't know, there just was like a magic in the air, like there was this sort of anticipation. You felt like you were collectively holding your breath or cheering along with 15 other thousand people. Yeah, man, it's it was cool to have no crowds and to really just see two people just go for it and hear everything, etc., and hear the corner. But man, this is exactly what UFC should be.
Yeah. Well, let's start from the main event then. Jorge Masvidal, Kamaru Usman, welterweight title fight, main event. Second time round. What I knew going into this fight was one thing and one thing only, and it's what I kept saying before the fight started. Because I kept looking at Jared and he's like, "Oh, it's just gonna be Usman's just gonna win again. It's just gonna be the same thing again. I just want to see how Masvidal's gonna do it." And I said, "Look, I'm not saying Masvidal's gonna win, but I guarantee you one thing: this fight will not be the same as the first. If there's anything I know about mixed martial arts, if there's anything I know at the highest level, rematches almost never go the same way twice. There's usually a vast difference because at that level you got to adjust. And the problem with a lot of people that win, usually they don't feel like they need to adjust their game plan. They feel like they need to do what they did that won the first time, and the loser adjusts, and that's why the loser tends to win a lot of the time in these rematches. That's what tends to happen. What I found it's what I felt about Conor losing to Dustin. Conor went in there years and years later thinking he can just go in there and do the same thing, and Dustin's like, well, I've got a different game plan. And what I noticed about Kamaru Usman was they're asking him how he's going to win. He's like, no, I'm here to strike with him. And I'm like, that's interesting. That's a different game plan. And if Masvidal's preparing to be wrestled, and that's what he's training for, it's actually a rematch where it suits the winner. If you've won that fight and you're going to rematch at that level, the person you beat's going to adjust to how you beat them. You need to try to beat them in a different way altogether. And the greats do that, and Kamaru Usman proved he is a true great in this fight to me. Because he went in there and outstruck the striker and showed the level of which he's at and the level above everyone else in that welterweight division that he's at. And he's already had my respect, but even tenfold, I feel, after this fight in particular, because it's one thing to win a fight once, but to win a rematch in a vastly different way, in a more emphatic way, and to want that fight again because he felt like he could do it more emphatically is ultra impressive.
Why is he laughing? he just loves fighting.
Masvidal became a fighter for like. No one has ever stopped Masvidal. That is unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
He went limp.
Ultra impressive. How did you feel about Kamaru Usman?
Yeah, man. He proved a lot of people wrong, including Dana White, including, doubters and people. Not gonna lie, like I paid for that pay-per-view when he first fought Masvidal.
Yeah.
And it was disappointing to see how it played out. And not that you do what you have to win, and obviously when you're being outstruck on the feet, you got to do what you got to do. So but as a fan, you always just want to see the big stuff. So, he proved so many people wrong with his defeat of Burns. Obviously finishing off Colby like that was awesome, and then doing that to Masvidal, just unreal. Yeah. And I think he's proved so many people wrong and is 100% in discussion for pound for pound. And yeah, if he continues his legacy, man, like it's sky's the limit for him, which is crazy. He's getting more accurate, he's getting more dangerous, he's getting more deadly every single match, which is just awesome to see.
And what he's doing is he's staying more active than everyone else. And if there's anything, I've learned watching mixed martial arts is activity breeds success. The more active fighters are the better fighters. They're in there. There's no nerves. There's no rust. Activity is everything. Those are when streaks happen. Those are when peaks happen. And Usman's staying active, and that's why his success is growing and growing and growing. And he's fighting these welterweights that are contenders, and they're sitting out waiting for their shot at the title. And that sometimes tends to lead to losses. And Masvidal waited a year, hadn't had a fight, and Usman went and just fought Burns. He's out there being active, and Usman's impressing me a lot. So I think, and that's Israel Adesanya is the same, staying super active. And that's what these guys that are successful do. And when you hear champions that have a good run and then go, oh yeah, no, I've had good 3-4 title defenses, those great champions, all of a sudden they go, I really need a holiday, I need a break, I'll have a bit of a break and I'll come back. It's rare they come back the same. Yeah. Because usually it's telling you more about their mental side, and they feel like they've done everything. They feel like they've already proved their point. Yeah. What Usman needs to do, and what I think he will do, is continue on that tear. And if you're at that point where you need a holiday and you don't want to stop, fucking just retire. Yeah. So that you need to tell yourself, okay, I'm not here forever. Just stay active as long as physically my body will let me. And if I'm only 31 and I can't do it anymore, then stop. Even if in a year you have a break and you feel like you go again, don't. Yeah. That's how I feel about mixed martial artists, and that's the biggest mistake these guys make, is they just want a holiday because they think, I want to have another 5 years of my career. Well, how about don't? How about be the most successful person for just 2 more years and then retire, rather than try to fight for 6 more years and have a bunch of breaks and then get a lot of brain damage because you're trying to take too much time off. And these hungry guys are fucking training every day, fighting 5 times a year. They're ready for the title shot. And even though maybe you could have beaten them if you were more active, that you can't. And what I love about Usman is he's staying active. These top guys stay active. Rob Whittaker is someone that was super active, won the belt, had some injuries, was fighting once a year, and then had some trouble with some really tough fights with Yoel, and then lost to Izzy. And now he's fought 3 times in a year, won all 3 fights, looking more and more impressive each time, and he's looking to stay active. And activity breeds success to me, man. That's just what I think. And it's part of the reason why I think Conor's one of the greatest fighters of all time in his peak. When he was active, fighting 3-4 times a year. And now he's barely fighting at all, and he's struggling. He struggled in that Dustin fight. He looks amazing because he's an amazing mixed martial artist. But when you're fighting a guy that's been 10 times more active than you, at that highest level, it's a game of inches, and you need to be making up those miles.
Even if the skill is still there, which we saw with Conor and Dustin.
You saw the skill's all there.
The skill is all there. It's just the game changes. And the game, 100%. You need to be in the game in order to not get left behind. Yeah. Because your skill and your talent can still be there, but how effective it is, you need to keep up with the new strategies, with the new, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, exciting. And dude, I mean, amazing main event all around. I mean, that head kick KO was just
let's talk about Rose Namajunas and Weili Zhang for the women's strawweight title. I mean, that was our call for fight of the night before the fight. We're like, this is the fight. There will be fight of the night. This will be the most competitive. This will be the closest. I thought it was going to be a 5-round fucking war.
That was going to be a war, man.
Because I couldn't pick it. I couldn't imagine either of those two going out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
To each other. I thought it was just going to be an absolute war. And a minute and 18 seconds in, Rose Namajunas, an orthodox stance, looks low. They're exchanging leg kicks. She looks low. She steps in with her right foot, looking low, comes up with her left foot of what Whaley thinks is a leg kick because she's looking down at the leg and swings fucking a huge lead head kick. Bang! On the button to Whaley. And it was nighty night for the first Chinese UFC champion. And we have, once again, new UFC strawweight champion, Rose Namajunas. Thug Rose. Thug Rose. Thug Rose.
He's landed several of those inside low kicks.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! Holy shit! She is out! Holy shit! What a moment, man.
Unreal, dude. Just we all there's never any doubt that she's an amazing fighter. But going into it, all of us had such a respect for the amount of talent and the amount of discipline that Whaley has, and she just, looking at her fight with Joanna, we know she can go the distance and keep honestly an insane pace the entire time. But hey, man, skill will always come out on top in the end. Timing and skill, you just need one good shot. Just proves, man, how good Rose really is.
Do you think they should have a rematch? That's what Dana's thinking. When Dana's upset that he's lost to China, the Chinese market.
Yeah. Look, when it comes to rematches and who should get what, I don't think my MMA knowledge is at the point where I can confidently say this person deserves it, unless you're, Robert Whittaker, who should have been in line to fight Izzy, but had to turn it down because of the war that he was in.
Well, it was also just ridiculous. They're like, can you fight in 4 weeks? By the way, I know you're in 2 weeks quarantine right now. So you fucking high?
No. So,
it's impossible.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, I don't know. It was an amazing knockout. Whether it's, Whaley is completely, she's done a crazy long camp. She's prepared. I wouldn't be against seeing a rematch. I don't think anyone would be necessarily slighted if she got a rematch, but I would also love to see a rematch between her and Joanna. I think that would be stylistically such a cool matchup to watch.
Their second fight was amazing.
Yeah.
And it was so close.
Yeah.
But Joanna's been inactive, so I'm a bit worried. She hasn't fought since the Whaley fight, which might be, nervous. But Joanna's such a high level, I think she'll always be, even inactive, she'll always be able to be competitive at that tier. But I think if she wants to win, she needs to fight someone first and beat him, and she could beat anyone in that top 10, really. Yeah, sure. Including a Jessica Andrade, because she dominated Jessica Andrade. She beat her 50-45 in their fight for the title. Joanna absolutely demolished her. That Whaley fight was so close, such a close war.
Yeah.
Would a Rose fight be any different? Would Rose be able to do the same thing again and win for the third? I don't know. It's tough. Yeah. I think Joanna should have been rooting for Whaley to win, because that was Joanna's best shot at a rematch.
Yeah.
Rose winning's tough because she's lost to it twice.
Yeah.
That second fight was really close. I get it, but I don't know. I feel like now that Rose has won, Rose is either going to fight Whaley again, or she's going to fight another contender before Joanna. I think Joanna's going to have to fight someone now.
I would say, look, if they can make it happen.
And Joanna's my girl. You know that. She's my girl. She's my favourite fighter.
I would watch a rematch between Rose and Whaley. I would watch it.
So would I, of course. Because it would be different.
It would be different. It's always amazing to see the second time.
I almost want to see the 5-round war that I was hoping for.
I know, yeah.
As much as that shocking moment was an amazing, shocking moment.
Incredible, yeah.
I want to see the war.
What it is, it just solidified everyone, that Rose is the best. She
is the best.
She has got it, what it takes. And now I'd love to see her defend it, really.
Yep. 100%. Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica Andrade for the women's flyweight title.
Amazing.
There was doubt, but not much, that Valentina Shevchenko was going to dominate. And I think what I thought was Jessica Andrade is a beast, and I thought it was going to be a most competitive fight at 125. I was fucking wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even close. It was domination. And once you saw Valentina just taking her down at will in the first round, going into that second, it's like, okay, Valentina's just going to realizes she's going to take her down again, empty Andrade's gas tank, and then put her in a bad position. I thought she was going to look for a submission, but once she took her down straight into side control in that second round, she had 2.5 minutes to go. I was sitting there, and Matt and I called her. She was like, it's crucifix is coming. We've seen this movie before, and Shevchenko put her in a crucifix, and then it was just good night for Jessica. Game over. Brutal elbows, and no one has fucking anything for Valentina. No one has anything for Valentina. What? Like, I don't even know what you do with her. I don't think you should do.
I don't want to go. I don't want to see a Nunes.
No, I don't. There's no point. It's because it doesn't matter. It
let them have their own legacies.
It proves nothing to me if Nunes wins, or even if Valentina wins. Like, it honestly proves nothing to me. They're both in different divisions. They're different women in different divisions with different legacies. Yes, they're just two dominant champions that no one can seem to beat, but that's their own legacies, man. I think let them have their own legacies. Unless they both want to fight each other, which I think they do. Yeah. I think Valentina more than anyone, because Valentina's lost to her twice. And they're both close fights, in fairness. Yeah. Especially that second one. Valentina felt like she won that second one, and I was sort of on the side of Valentina in that second fight, personally, but it was close as shit. I mean, I'd be happy to see it again, but I don't think it proves anything to me.
I'd love to see Valentina just clear out the division.
Yeah, I mean, she almost has. Holy shit. Yeah. She's an incredible champion. Yeah. So,
let her keep on submitting.
And there's always contenders coming up, man. So eventually, Valentina's either going to retire or she's going to lose.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
Everyone gets old.
Everyone gets old. But unbelievable. She's amazing. I love her. Love her.
Chris Weidman.
Fuck's sake. That was awful. Oh, that was awful. Chris Weidman, Uriah Hall, 17 seconds in. Chris Weidman throws a leg kick. Uriah Hall perfectly checks it. Let's not make no mistake. Let's not say Chris threw a wrong one. Chris Weidman threw a super hard leg kick, and Uriah Hall perfectly checked it defensively. And just at the bottom of the knee, the hardest part of the bone, and it shattered and snapped in half Chris Weidman's shin bone. And it broke his leg.
It's horrific.
It was the almost identical scenario of his fight with Anderson Silva, their second fight, their rematch for the middleweight title that Chris Weidman had. It was unreal. As soon as it happened, I'm like, I can't believe this happened to Chris Weidman. Yeah. The fact that the last time this happened in the UFC, it was Anderson Silva to Chris Weidman. Now it's Chris Weidman doing it against Uriah Hall, who was the last person to fight Anderson Silva. It was the most weird full circle irony I've ever seen in my entire life. And man, I felt bad. Yeah, Chris Weidman in absolute agony and tears. But just as well, like the same with Anderson, you throw the kick, you see it snap, goes to step back on the foot, which is just, your muscle memory of when you throw a kick to step back into your position with it, and to just collapse on it. Like,
that image lives in my head rent-free.
Dude, yeah, 100%. Oh, it's awful. Especially because the first fight, Anthony Smith and Jimmy Crute, our Aussie boy, Anthony Smith landed that perfect leg kick that shut the lights on Jimmy Crute's leg. Complete nerve damage. Might have torn a ligament, I don't know, but it was some really bad nerve damage, at least. And shut his leg off. And he was just wobbling on that. So to see that happen in the first round of that fight, and that fight to be called off in between rounds because Jimmy couldn't walk on it, and then to come out 17 seconds into the second fight on the card, and Chris breaks his leg in half. It's like, what the fuck's happening? And I said to everyone, I was like, dude, we're in for a weird night of fights. You already felt the vibe that, I don't know what was going to happen, whether it was going to be good or bad, but it was going to be memorable. Mm-hmm. We were never going to forget this night.
Hectic.
And I don't think I ever will. That was an unbelievable card, man. Yeah. That was a card for the ages.
Truly an amazing way to usher back in the era of crowds, and honestly a new era.
The Venom era. It was the beginning of a new era of MMA.
Which feels good, because it feels like, we had some glory years, maybe 5-6 years
Well, it was the McGregor era. The Reebok era began, the McGregor era began at UFC 189 in July 11th, 2015. The first night of Reebok. Conor McGregor, Chad Mendes. And that card is an unbelievable card. Brad Pickett, Thomas Almeida. Yeah. You had Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald for the welterweight title, their second fight. To me, the greatest fight in UFC history. And then the main event, Chad Mendes, Conor McGregor, where Conor McGregor became the interim featherweight champion. You know, I was in fucking tears at the end of that card when I watched that. It was one of the best cards I've ever seen. And it began a new era, began the McGregor era. Mm-hmm. And it was an amazing era. It was an era of entertainment. It had a lot of ups, a lot of downs.
Yeah, man.
But I felt like we were coming to a tail end of that era. And this year's been wild. We've seen Conor McGregor get knocked out. We've seen Jorge Masvidal get knocked out. We've seen some things I just never thought I'd see. Stipe get knocked out. Things that, you know, it's a new era, bro. It's a new era in the UFC. And there's some things that will forever change with new all-time greats like Kamaru Usman, Francis Ngannou coming up, and some things that continue to stay the same, like Rose Namajunas shocking the world and Valentina Shevchenko being the UFC flyweight champion of the world. So it's a new era and hopefully a good one for mixed martial arts in the UFC. But phenomenal card, phenomenal night. I look forward to the cards to come with Chandler Oliveira, Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards, Izzy Vittori, Conor, Dustin 3. It's going to be an interesting couple of years of the UFC, that's for sure. That's for sure. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Tynamite show today. Is it a short one? Short and sweet, I think?
It's about an hour.
Is it really?
Yep.
On there, it's an hour.
An hour, yeah.
Holy shit. We haven't even put in the segment of the Kingdom Hearts bit.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. All right. Wow. That's interesting. I thought it was a short one for some reason, but I guess it's been a lengthy one. Anyway, I guess there's just not as many segments.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Tynamite Show. I appreciate the shit out of all of you for supporting the show. David, for you being here and helping produce this show and making it happen. I appreciate you so much. Be sure to head over to patreon.com/ as always for early access to this show in the audio form. Support my channel, support the 4 Pillars Network by subscribing, 4 Pillars Clips channel, all that great stuff. Links are in the description if you're watching on YouTube, and rate us if you're listening on podcast services. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye.